all just so glad you all came to join us tonight. I am Missy Sweetwater, and this is my precious sister, Sissy. I'm Missy.
I'm Sissy.
Missy.
Sissy.
Missy.
Sissy.
You'll get it right sooner or later.
Oh, Missy, I'm just so excited to be here again.
I'm too.
Remember that sweet, sweet garçon? Where is he? I wonder where he could be.
I don't know. I don't see him here.
And remember that the food was just so good?
Oh, it's delicious. And we had deckside service and everything. It was fantastic.
It was the best. And you see Pastor David out there shining the light on us?
That darling Pastor
Hi,
David.
You know, I just love to hear the pastor's sermons. He knows he needs a good beginning and a good ending, and to have the two as close together as possible.
That is so true. There is a fine line between a long, drawn-out sermon and a hostage situation.
That is so true, Missy.
Yes. Thankfully, we don't have many hostage situations here tonight. Our first group this evening is going to be the Generic Three. They're going to be singing us a little piece called Side by Side. This group consists of John Eilers, Wayne Wilski, and Claude Bowman, and they will be maybe not be accompanied by Judy Barnes, because I don't see anybody. Oh, they will be accompanied by Judy Barnes. Come on up.
We're going to be singing here.
Yeah,
I come from the same general area as Missy and Sissy back there. We have a song here. It is a love song. You know, folks start out in life falling in love, and then pretty soon they go off and get married. And this is a little story about them and how they start out their lives together. So,
see the sun in the morning peeking over the hill. I'll bet you're sure it always has, and sure it always will. That's how I feel about someone, how somebody feels about me. We're sure we love each other. That's the way we'll always be.
oh, we ain't got a barrel of money. Maybe we're ragged and funny, but we'll travel along, singing a song side by side.
Don't know what's coming tomorrow. Maybe a trouble and sorrow, but we'll travel the road, sharing the load, side by side. Through all kinds of weather, what if the sky should fall? Just as long as we're together, it doesn't matter at all. When they all had their quarrels and parted, we'll be the same as we started, just traveling along, singing a song side by side. Oh, I got married last Friday. May I and bride stood beside me. When much later on, when the guests were all gone, side by side, we were glad to be wed when we got ready for bed. Then, with her false teeth and hair placed on the chair, side by side, one cork leg to follow. but in a size so small. When she unscrewed her left arm and placed it on the trim of the wall, so I stood there broken hearted. Most of my wife had departed. So I sat on the chair. There was more of her there. Side by side.
Exit stage right.
That was fantastic. I love that song. It's hilarious. Absolutely
It is.
hilarious.
They
All right.
did a fantastic job.
Indeed, indeed. Sissy or Missy, whoever you are.
I'm Sissy.
I'm Missy. I remember now.
Well, I was so embarrassed the other day when I wandered into the finance board meeting after church last Sunday. The chair asked me, "Don't you realize that this is only for the board members?" But I thought after that service, I was just as bored as anyone else. They were busy working on the stewardship drive, and I thought I had the perfect slogan, but they didn't even use it.
What was it?
I upped my donation, up yours.
Well, I'm pretty sure that would never happen here at the Rupert United Methodist Church. I hear their finance board meetings are just practically perfect. You know what? I hear that they have the most delightful young ladies who are the financial secretaries at their church.
I've
Oh
heard
my
that
goodness,
too.
I hear they are so precious. I can't quite remember their names.
Jan and Terry.
You're right, Jen and Terry. They are so perfectly
They are like
precious.
angels from heaven.
Angels directly from heaven.
Yes.
I hear that they're on the program a little bit later on. You're going to be expecting a real fine treat a little later on with those ladies.
That's right.
That's right. Okay, wait, we got to get back to the program. All right.
We digress.
We do digress. Up next, we have two young ladies. Get up, young ladies. Ashlyn Heeb and Evie Johnson. And they're going to be performing to She's No Good. And if you know those girls, you know neither of them are any good. All right, girls.
So very much for you. Hooked on adrenaline. Come on, say, make me do what I do. All my friends keep telling me she no good. Oh, I've been through the rain, trying to drive myself sane. Monday mornings blue faces. Get off the train. Then I see two lovers and gently smile into each other's eyes. And I think she no good. 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 No good. She no good. She no good. Oh, my friend keep telling me she no good. Oh, why can't I learn? Oh, Miss Craziness, you're like glue. You got me in a guillotine. Oh, Mayday, what am I gonna do? All my friends keep telling me she no good. 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 All my friends keep telling me she no good. I wanna buy
tonight, Missy. Not everyone gets along with their siblings so well.
It's true.
Even in the Bible, how long do you think that old Cain hated his brother?
As long as he was able.
Oh, that's so funny.
I know, very, very punny tonight. All right, up next we have Roger Juntinen. Roger Juntinen, you never know what you're going to get with Roger Juntinen, but this, okay, well, he could borrow Jennifer's.
Yes, it's working now.
Oh, sorry.
You're
So
welcome,
sorry.
Roger. I turned it on just for you.
Roger Juntinen is going to be performing something called the Spell of the Yukon. I'm not entirely sure what that means, but the Spell of the Yukon. You don't think that's on? All right. Take that blue one.
I can talk loud enough without.
Need that.
Huh?
All right. Give it up for Roger.
Cliff mentioned that he was going to have this talent show, and he said he wanted me in it. And oh, sorry. I said, yeah, but I don't have any talent. He said, that's exactly the point. Well, anyway, this group kind of reminds me of a campfire, and everybody's just having fun, and I'm much more comfortable around campfires than most people. Cheryl and I have been on many campfires all over the years. In fact, I remember one that was over 50 years ago. And I remember the fact that Cheryl was very concerned about bears. Well, this was on the north shore of Lake Superior, the largest freshwater lake in the world, surface area. And that area contains like 15% of all the fresh water in the entire world. So many campfires over the years and good times. Just as a side note, I don't remember anything I watched on TV last week. And I see people with all their cell phones and electronic devices. And, what do you call it? Elevator music. And I think you'll all agree this is a lot more fun. And I'll kind of leave it at that, but on most campfires there's some joker that starts out and he's got to tell a few jokes. And I'll tell you a quick joke that's a true story. It was on the Smith River in Montana. We were collecting firewood on a canoe trip, 85-mile canoe trip, and kind of had a little contest going between the canoes to haul in the firewood. And two guys from Livingston stopped, and they were gathering firewood, walking around, and by gosh, there was a big bear there. Well, one guy says, back up real slow. There's a bear there. The other guy said, I want to see what that bear's doing. The guy said, back up real slow. There's nobody that can outrun a bear. So the guy said, I don't have to outrun a bear. I just have to outrun you. Well, this story has gotten around, but I was there on the trip where that actually was around our campfire. The guy now is a roving editor of the Outside magazine, or the sporting magazine anyway. And so there's jokers, and then there's people that talk about weather. My boy and I launched our canoe in high water, actually fairly dangerous high water, in a snowstorm, going on an 85-mile trip and it was snowing. It was the 4th of July, and the Beartooth Highway had been closed the night before. So that's a little bit about campfires. And then there's some guy that thinks he knows poetry or something. And this jacket has been around a lot of campfires. It was my dad's. So there was a guy born in 1873 or about then. He was born in England. He grew up in Scotland. He migrated to Canada. And he didn't consider himself a poet. He knew the great poets, Yeats, Shelley, and all of those. That's what he read. But he considered himself a bard of the common people. Probably what he was proud of most, he was a vagabond. He lived in Canada quite a while. He volunteered for World War I. He was too old, but they let him be an ambulance driver in the expedition force. And he basically did odd jobs all over the world, and then he continued writing The Spell of the Yukon by Robert Service. I wanted the gold, and I sought it. I scrambled and mucked like a slave. Was it famine or scurvy? I fought it. I hurled my youth into a grave. I wanted the gold, and I got it. Come out with the fortune last fall, yet somehow life's not what I thought it. And somehow the gold isn't all. No, there's a land. Have you seen it? It's a cussedous land that I know, from the big dizzy mountains that screen it to the deep death-like valleys below. Some say God was tired when he made it. Some say it's a fine land to shun. Well, maybe. But there's some that would trade it for no land on earth. And I'm one. You come to get rich. Damn good reason, and you feel like an exile at first. Then you hate it like hell for a season, and then you are worse than the worst. It grips you like some kind of sinning. It twists you from foe to a friend. It seems it's been since the beginning. It seems it will be to the end. The summer, no sweeter was ever. The sunshiny woods all a-thrill, the grayling a-leap on the river, the bighorn asleep on the hill. The hard life that never knows harness, the wilds where the caribou calls, the freshness, the freedom, the farness. Oh, God, how I'm stuck on it all. The summer, the winter, the brightness that blinds you, the white land locked tight as a drum, and the cold fear that follows and finds you, the silence that bludgeons you dumb, the snows that are older than history, and the woods where the weird shadows slant, the stillness, the moonlight, the mystery. I bade him goodbye, but I can't. There's a land where the mountains are nameless, where the rivers they run, God knows where. There are lives that are erring and aimless, and deaths that just hang by a hair. There are hardships that nobody reckons. There are valleys unpeopled and still. There's a land, oh, it beckons, and I want to go back, and I will. I'm a boot broke, They're making my money diminish. I'm sick of the taste of champagne. Thank God when I'm skinned to a finish, I'll pike to the Yukon again. I'll fight. And it's no sham fight. It's hell. But I've been there before, and it's better than this by a damn sight. So it's me for the Yukon once more. It's the great, big, broad land way up yonder. It's the forest where silence has lease. It's the beauty that fills me with wonder. It's the stillness that fills me with peace.
Oh, there. All right. Hi. Sissy, she's over there. We forgot to introduce the next little bit, so, you know, she's so very quiet. It just has to be all me. Yes? Well, I don't know what to tell you. She's too shy. I said she's too shy. Okay, so up next we have Miss Graham and Mr. Barnes, and they're going to be offering us some hilarity in short little bursts throughout the rest of the program. So we hope that you will enjoy it.
Little sunshine. Oh. Hey. Oh boy. What are you doing now? What are you doing tonight? Oh, my. What are you doing tomorrow? What are you doing tomorrow night? I guess I'll come back when you're not so busy.
Sissy. That Miss Graham, she reminded me of that. What was her name? That Mrs.
Oh, I know just who you're talking about.
I saw her when we went to that dinner.
Popcorn. Mrs.
Pop your
Pimple.
Pippin Popple. Pippin Popple.
Oh.
She looked an awful lot like that Miss Pippin Popple that we met that one time.
She sure did.
Goodness.
So Missy, speaking of the Bible, we were a minute ago.
Indeed.
Do you know who the shortest man in the Bible was?
Well, I hear Zacchaeus was pretty short.
Yes, he was, but I bet even he was taller than Nehemiah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's true. All righty. We are hilarious. Some of you aren't laughing loudly enough, but we are hilarious. All righty. Up next, we're going to have a performance by Colton Bruns. Oh, sweet little old Colton Bruns. He'll be singing Be Thou My Vision.
Be thou my vision, O Lord of my heart. Not be all else to me, save that thou art. Thou my best thought, by day or by night. High King of heaven, my treasure thou art. Oh God, be my everything, be my delight. Be Jesus my glory, my soul satisfied. Oh God, be my everything, be my delight. Be Jesus my glory, my soul satisfied. High King of heaven, thy victory won. May I reach heaven's joys, oh bright heaven's sun. Heart of my own heart, whatever befall, still be my vision, oh ruler of all. Heart of my own heart, whatever befall, still be my vision, oh ruler of all.
Lovely, Colton. Just lovely. So, Missy, how is your Sunday school class going?
Oh, it's going just fine. Fine. Hey, do you know what kind of man Boaz was before he married Ruth?
I do. He was ruthless.
Guys, these are puns. You're supposed to be laughing a little harder. Okay.
Oh, we have a heckler. We have a heckler
We
there
do have
in
a
the
heckler.
front.
We do. She's tiny. I could whoop her. Alrighty. Up next we have Jean Bartlett. Jean Bartlett is going to be telling us about her secrets. Her secrets. I'll try it. Oh yeah, it's on.
Oh, okay. From a page in the life of Jean Wheeler Hayes Bartlett. Attending a 2-room country school was a culture shock to me back in the 30s when I was 9 years old. The 1st to 4th grade was in one room, and the 5th to the 8th grade was in another. And there was 2 little outhouses positioned out on the playground. I had been attending Central Grade School in Newburgh, Oregon, where there were 2 rooms of each grade from 1st through the 6th grade with probably about 20 kids in each room. I was a skinny, scrawny little girl. My sister that was 7 was 2 inches shorter than I and weighed 15 pounds more. And she was a normal-sized child. So you can imagine what size I was. And I was a girly little girl, and I wanted to be pretty, so I asked my mom. I says, "Mama, someday will I be pretty?" She says, "Pretty is as pretty does." Then she said, "Beauty is in the eye of the beholder." And I thought, well, that didn't really answer my question, but I remembered what she said. I still can quote it. So anyway, when I went out to race, I could run like the wind because there was just nothing to me except just bones and skin. So anyway, then when we went to this school, it was so different from what I was used to. And it was because of my parents had moved just to another part of the county, but that put me in another little school district where they had this little tiny school. And this was, I spent the 4th grade in this country school. Being the new girl, I found a whole lot of popularity that I'd never had before because I was like a small fish in a little pond. So anyway, and I found my first love, my first crush was a boy named Elmer Rimmelard, and he had twinkling brown eyes and such a cute smile. And there were two more boys in the room. I mean, in the 4th grade. One was Gene Newton, and one was named Romeo. And then there was one girl named Muriel. So you can see how many classmates I had. I was a good student and enjoyed the fact that I had good grades. And the teacher even let me help teaching of the 1st grade students. The school year passed quickly, and suddenly it was Valentine's Day. We took our Valentines to school, and I gave the kind that had the little red sucker attached to the Valentine. So we put them in the box at school, and then they handed out the Valentines. And on my desk appeared a beautiful pale blue satin heart filled with cotton and embroidered with white eyes and pink mouth and crocheted with pink and bright blue yarn on the outside of the heart. And the only thing on the Valentine was my name, with no hint of who had sent it. Wow, I had a secret admirer, and I had no clue as to which of the 3 boys it was. I knew that it wouldn't be the girl, and she'd never have given me such a fancy heart. Was it Elmer, Romeo, or Jean? The mystery was solved on the last day of school. My mom had gone to school, as well as all the moms, and she happened to sit beside a stranger who started talking to her. When my mom mentioned the word blue heart, when my mom heard the word blue heart mentioned, her ears perked up as she heard the rest of the story. Mrs. Newton told Mother that her son Gene had begged her to make a heart out of some red satin material she had, and so he could give it to me for Valentine's Day, and she had made the heart for me. I finally knew where the heart came from, but I never got the chance to tell Gene thanks. Since we moved into town of Newburgh, and I returned to Central School and its many students, and I never saw him again. I have received many boxes of chocolates, beautiful red hearts over the years. But that little pale blue satin heart was a very special gift to a young girl during the Depression years, where something so pretty never happened in real life.
Let's go. Come on, let's dance here a little bit. Come on. Miss Graham, do you recognize true love when you see it? Miss Graham, do you recognize true devotion when you see it? Miss Graham, do you recognize a concussion when you see it? Seeing a light now. I don't know.
Missy, don't you think that those Methodist men make the best coffee in town?
That's pretty sexist. Women make great coffee too.
Well, they shouldn't even have to, because in the Bible it clearly says Hebrews.
Alrighty, up next we have little Miss Jocelyn Jones, and she's going to be a hula hooping fool.
Woo, woo!
It might seem crazy wearing stripes of pride. I Instagram every meal I've had. All my used links and Bibles are on display. We can go to see a show, but I'll make you pay. Because I'm cracking my bells with suspenders and sandals with my socks. Because I'm cracking got some new glitter rugs and lovely pink sequin cracks. Because I'm cracking never let you forget some favorite gift for you. Because I'm cracking if you're okay with that, you might just be tacky too. I meet some chick after this and that. Yeah. Like, are you pregnant, girl, or just really fat? Yeah. Well, now I'm dropping names almost constantly. Yeah. That's what Kanye West keeps telling me. Here's why. Because I'm pregnant. Well, my Ed Hardy shirt with fluorescent orange pants. Because I'm pregnant. Got my new resume. It's printed in Comic Sans. Because I'm pregnant. Taking photos and me waiting with a bad gal for you. Because I'm pregnant. If you think that's just fine, then you're probably tacky too. Bring me shame, can't nothing. Bring me shame, I never know why. Bring me shame, can't nothing. Bring me shame, I said. Bring me shame, can't nothing. Bring me shame, it's pointless to try. Bring me shame, can't nothing. Bring me shame, I said. Because I'm 43 over stickers and a YOLO license plate. Because I'm bring along my blue bomber whenever I'm on a date. Because I'm taking much working moves and light as a GMB. Because I'm took a whole of grass from Missy and set her free. Because I'm looking drunk at the bank and take off my shirt at least. Because I would lie, tweet a funeral, take selfies with other seats. Because if I live by a zombie coming at telling you, hey, if you don't think that's bad, guess what? Then you're back too.
I don't care who you are. That's talent right there.
Oh, sweet mercy. Don't get your hopes up, folks, because that's not happening. Not happening. Pretty much not happening. No, it's not happening. I think I'm on. I think so.
I think we're on. I think we sound good. So, back to the coffee. I think that we should be drinking tea anyway.
Tea?
Tea.
Why?
Because it improves your character. Like
Because
charity, humility, sensitivity, purity.
we all been needing a little bit of that.
Amen.
My little sunshine, my little sunshine. Come on, darling. Come on. So here, let's go. Come on. Okay. You want to go to the church potluck with me? Oh, I can make you sing like a canary in the choir. Well, I guess couple counseling is out of the question.
Up next, we have Spiffany Tiffany, my sweet little Tiffany Lloyd. Do you have a microphone back there, sweet pea? How about you got to get yourself a microphone? A microphone. Oh, Mr. Technology. Okay, sweet little Tiffany Lloyd, she will be singing for us, Only Hope. I was hoping for.
There's a song that's in of my head. It's the one that I do over and over again. In the cold, sing to me over and over and over again. So I lay my head back down and I lift my hands to pray. Through love you, so I pray. You know you're only my only hope. Sing to me the song of the stars, of your galaxy dancing and laughing again. When it feels like my dreams are so far, sing to me of the plans that you have for me over again. So I lay my head back down and I lift my hands and pray. I pray to you, I pray. I know now you're my only hope. I give you my destiny. I'm giving you all of me. I want your symphony, singing in all that I am. At the top of my lungs, I'm giving it back. So I lay my head back down and I lift my hands to pray. To be only yours, I pray. To be only yours, I pray. To be only yours.
rumors.
Sure this works.
Well, really, we're just not the gossiping kind. Oh, you'll never hear one of us repeating gossip. So you better be sure and listen close the first time. We would like to thank those who bake cookies. We were not in charge, just so you know. Have a snack and drink a cup of coffee. Then get your coat and out the door you go.